Hello, as I can here to show you the Dora the Explorer and FAQs for accomplishments. Coloring here, as you see, is so far as talking about taxes. Then you got the tax and then the W-2 forms. You got the tax forms such as the 1041 or the 1053 or the 1061. That you have it to where if you were to go to like the nearest bank or the post office or wherever to pick up the forms. The forms that they would go by is like the letter. So you say the letter, the number is all categorized, as I say, is so far as ABC order. But you have it to where that you have a so far as for the questions that they ask you, if you were to go online and then you type in type in the search logo, such as that it's like if you were to go and file your taxes online, or if you were to be working on a document, on a sheet of paper. It's like if you were to complete your taxes on a sheet of paper, that they would give you like a form which would say is line bars. With the line bars, that each one of these line bars is requires a basic type of math, to where you would do the math, and a lot of times is that you if you were to do the math, and then it shows you would write down how much you made that year, and then how much is subtracted, and then the amount that was subtracted, from the state or from the federal government. But of course, one thing about that is so far as the questions, and then so far with the answers, is that the one thing is to keep in mind is that which we all have heard probably before, is that is filing your taxes. That a lot of times is that they say to keep it in file for 7 years, and you wonder is that if that's correct, that you're supposed to keep it in file for 7 years. It's like, why is that? Because more likely that your benefits, your wages or whatever could change, per year or per 5 months or so. But more like the best answer for that would be that so you can keep track on the record for how much earnings that were made, and then if there was any type of a job change or anything like that occurred during the work status, or if you moved, relocated, or if it was the fact about the tax increase, or maybe if you sold anything on eBay, or win the lottery, or whatever it is, that they want you to keep the tax information on file for about 7 years. And it's like you got that with Boots right there, like Boots that come up with the idea is that so far as the amount that you earn, which pretty much to say is that with Dora the Explorer, it's like you start working at a young age, or you start doing chores. It's like if you do the math right, that it's like you don't even remember when you first paid taxes. It's like more like maybe whenever you first went shopping, whenever you were about 8 or 9, 10 years old, and then you go out and buy something, and then whenever you get older, you go out and find work, you get work, open your own business or whatever, and then you find out it's like about these tax forms. And there's probably a lot of people may say put that they don't worry about it until tax season comes up, which the tax season I'm sure will be coming up probably about April the 13th, April the 12th. I guess you say usually runs on like a Monday around April, but 2013. But have it to one thing that of course you say this with the documents is to be sure to add the date. The date on the documents, to say more like that the date would be like one of the important steps about filing your taxes. Is that way when the last time they were filed, and then when they need to be filed again. It's like whenever tax time comes along, and then it'll all be available. And then along with the which I remember whenever I filed my taxes that they ask you sometimes that there seem like odd questions, but I guess it's like that so far as the worldwide filing taxes worldwide is that if you have any independence or pay any railroad taxes or anything like that, have any savings bonds or paid say child support, or if you own business or any type of incomes, if you rent or own property, lease property, or if you it's like any type of health insurance, if you won the lottery, whatever it is. I would probably say that on a tax form, like so far would say like get the sites like TurboTax or whatever, more likely, I mean, they would ask you more like about maybe 120 questions altogether. These 120, that may include what your address is, and then maybe how much earnings you made from that year, since the new year, how much you made during that whole year, during the whole 8 months or whatever. And then that some of those questions may be based on the fact about if you change jobs or whatever. And it's like of course, one thing that a lot of people would probably say that they liked, and which I don't really ask for, is so far as is for direct deposit. If you were to get any refund money back from the state or from the federal government, is that if you want to have it directly deposited into a bank or whatever. And a lot of times I say no, and then that reason is to say that well, whenever the money's in there, then more like that you'll get spent. It's like, want to make sure that the money gets spent wisely, because with Dora the Explorer, we work hard for our money, and we deserve to know when it's there, and how we want to spend it. But more likely, say it's there. You just need to know about how much money you get back, and when they said about when you'll be getting it back. It's like so far as go green. Is that a lot of times, like, got the online sites to where they don't even bother with the paper file too much, but it's like one thing work on going green. One thing they can work on going green more like is that the fact about with the papers and stuff, is that more like that is to recycle the papers, and then that maybe to avoid any type of disposable filers or whatever you call it. It's like find a way to reuse them. But so I got the go green, and then along with the ABCs. But so far as the questions and answers, and the best question is so far as the question is it's like with filing your taxes, is that so far as the date, you get the dates, and then so far as it is knowing about the information about keeping them organized, getting prepared. It's like so far with the W-2 forms, that people would probably say with the W-2 forms, as soon as they get them, that's whenever they file their taxes. But then on the other hand, it's like when they get their W-2 forms, it's like why that information is so important. But more likely they say that the W-2, which I guess stands for the worthly 2 stub or whatever, that how much you made during the whole year, all that information would be available on there, and then be able to have it to where you go online and then enter that information into your mobile smartphone mobile device, or your online account, and then be able to complete it from there. So far as for Dora the Explorer, which a lot of this information, it's like with Dora the Explorer or anybody else who were at the young age, would probably not understand it very well, other than the fact about it is that spend your money wisely. It's like spend your money wisely, and that's really the only thing you can really understand. And that's one thing that I'm sure a lot of people would probably say that so far with kids and parents, is to keep in mind that file your taxes and to spend your money wisely. So far with Dora the Explorer,